Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Coco Gauff puts Wimbledon behind with quiet July 4th escape with Beau, Jalen, Sera. Wimbledon has delivered its fair share of shocks this year, especially on the WTA side. And for American fans, Coco Gauff's early exit hit the hardest. The reigning Roland Garros champion and second seed at the All England Club bowed out in a stunning first-round upset. Now back home in Delray Beach, Florida, Gauff appears to be shaking off the sting of defeat. Escaping the ghosts of her Wimbledon campaign, she's turned her focus to brighter moments, ringing in America's special day with joy and pride alongside her beau, Jalen, Sera, in full celebration mode. Just a couple of hours ago, Coco Gauff took to IG to share a pair of heartfelt stories that gave fans a glimpse into her peaceful return home. In the first story, she posted a serene still from the beachside in Delray, Florida, her hometown, captioning the location below, a tranquil ocean view. The moment played to the soft rhythm of Heaven is a Home, painting a perfect picture of calm after the chaos of Wimbledon. And just moments later, Coco shared a second story, this time celebrating America's Independence Day. Firecrackers burst from the heart of the ocean in a dazzling display, with Lana Del Rey's national anthem echoing in the background. In a sweet synchronicity, Coco's beau, Jalen, Sera, mirrored her stories on his own IG. He first posted the same beachside image, subtly matching Coco's peaceful vibe. Then, just minutes later, he shared the same 4th of July celebration, this time as a still image of the firecracker-lit sky. The pair's shared celebration spoke volumes, without saying a word, just love, peace, and fireworks. Coco Gauff puts Wimbledon behind with quiet July 4th escape with Beau, Jalen, Sera. The air still smelled like grass and pressure. Even after she stepped off the courts at Wimbledon, Coco Gauff couldn't shake the feeling that the match was still echoing inside her. Each missed forehand, every wide second serve, all looping like a silent reel behind her eyes. She didn't lose early. She never did these days. But she didn't win either. Quarterfinal exit. Not tragic, not triumphant. Somewhere in between. That kind of loss is the worst, really. The kind where you can't even cry properly because you're not sure if you've earned it. Back in her London hotel, Coco sat on the edge of the bed, scrolling mindlessly. Fireworks in New York. Hot dogs in Atlanta. Her family was scattered. Her team quiet. The locker room had been all hugs and see you soons. But the weight hadn't lifted. It hung on her shoulders like a sweaty towel. Her phone buzzed. Jalen, want to disappear for a bit? A beat passed. Then another. Coco, yes. Jalen, Sera wasn't the kind of guy to follow her into the spotlight. He liked music, film photography, and making playlists for moods that didn't have names. They met a year ago at a charity event in Miami, introduced by mutual friends. At the time, Coco thought he was quiet. Now she knew he just spoke with intention. Every word, like a brushstroke. He didn't ask questions when she called him back that night and whispered, "Can we just go somewhere?" He only said, "Pack light." They drove out of London in a rented car that smelled like lemon-scented cleaner and airport gum. Jalen played old-school jazz on the radio, Coltrane, Davis, a little Nina for the rainy parts. No paparazzi, no GPS. Just winding roads through the English countryside. July rain dotting the windshield. They ended up in a seaside village, with gray cliffs and cottages the color of worn postcards. No one there cared much about tennis, or maybe they just didn't recognize her. Either way, she could breathe. They checked into a small inn with creaky floorboards and tea that tasted like honey and memory. The owner was a woman named Jean who had an accent so thick it sounded like a psalm. She handed Coco a key and said, "You look like you've run a long way. Rest now, love." And for the first time in months, Coco did. On July 4th, while America exploded in red, white, and blue, Coco and Jalen walked barefoot on a foggy beach. No fireworks, just the sound of waves and the occasional caw of gulls overhead. She wore a hoodie 2 sizes too big and a baseball cap pulled low. Her curls peeked out at the sides. Jalen carried a small blanket and an old Polaroid camera, slung across his chest like a musician's instrument. "Funny," she said, breaking the long silence. Back home, people are probably posting barbecue photos, flag cakes, sparklers. I'd usually be there. Atlanta's wild on the 4th. You miss it? He asked. She shrugged. A little. Mostly I just needed to remember who I am without tennis. He nodded slowly, like he understood. And who is that? She paused. I don't know, but I want to find out. They found a flat rock and laid the blanket over it. Coco sat, pulling her knees to her chest. Jalen set the camera down beside her and opened a small journal. You brought a notebook? She asked. Always. For thoughts that don't belong on a phone. She smiled. That's very you. He chuckled. Want to write something in it? She hesitated. Maybe later. They watched the tide roll in and out like the rhythm of a song. Her heart, which had felt loud and frantic just days ago, began to slow. Do you ever wonder, she asked, if people will only ever see me as a tennis player? Jalen didn't answer immediately. Instead, he took a Polaroid photo of the horizon, then another of her, framed against the misty sky. I see you as Coco, he said. She looked at him. Not the champion, he added. Just the girl who likes blueberry pancakes and cries during Pixar movies. The girl who sings off-key in the car and can quote The Office backwards. She laughed, real and sudden. I forgot I do that. You do, he said. And it's hilarious. They sat in quiet companionship for a while, the kind of silence that feels like a warm blanket instead of an empty room. That night, they returned to the inn. Jean had left 2 plates outside their door, roasted vegetables, local fish, and a crumble for dessert. No fanfare, just kindness. After dinner, Coco took the notebook and began to write. She didn't know exactly what she was writing at first. Just fragments. Thoughts. Feelings. Today I didn't think about Wimbledon. Today I didn't care about rankings. Today I let the ocean tell me stories. I think I like the girl I am when I'm not trying so hard to be more. She handed the notebook to Jalen without a word. He read it silently, then kissed her on the forehead. You don't have to be more, he said. You already are. They stayed another day. And then another. No phones. No interviews. Just books, music, and long conversations under the lazy sun. She told him about her dreams. Some she had buried under ambition. Others she didn't know she had. He told her about his photography project. Portraits of people when they thought no one was watching. I want to take one of you, he said. No makeup. No posing. Exactly. So she let him. On the porch of the inn. Hair tied up. Sweater slipping off one shoulder. A mug of tea in her hand. He clicked the shutter. The photo developed slowly, soft, blurred edges, but her smile unmistakable. That's the real you, he said. She looked at it and, for the first time in a long while, believed him. When they returned to London 3 days later, the world was waiting. Emails, calls, press requests. Her team had questions. Sponsors wanted updates. The calendar was already dotted with hardcore events. But something had shifted. She still loved the game. She still wanted to win. But she no longer felt like she was running from herself. In fact, she was walking toward her. The girl with the camera in her hand. The notebook full of truth. The quiet joy of being unseen, even just for a moment. And Jalen, he was still beside her. Not as her accessory. Not as her plus one. But as the boy who helped her remember. Freedom isn't just stepping off a court. It's choosing who you want to be when the lights dim. Epilogue. Weeks later, a new article appeared in a lifestyle magazine. Coco Gauff talks balance, healing, and her secret getaway with photographer Jalen Sera. Inside was the photo, the one on the porch. No glam, no gloss. Just her, smiling gently, like someone who knows exactly where she's been and where she's going next.